Book summary by Teddy Bear's Storytime.
George's Marvellous Medicine, published in 1981, is another classic from Roald Dahl, beloved for his whimsical yet darkly humorous children's stories. The book follows young George Cranky, who concocts a magical medicine to deal with his overbearing grandmother. Dahl's imaginative storytelling, combined with Quentin Blake's distinctive illustrations, creates a fantastical narrative that explores themes of rebellion, the unexpected consequences of actions, and the tension between youth and authority. Dahl's sharp wit and vivid descriptions make this book a captivating read for children and adults alike. Characters: George Cranky, the protagonist, a young boy with a vivid imagination and a keen sense of justice. Grandma, George's mean-spirited, tyrannical grandmother who constantly belittles him. Mr. Cranky, George's supportive and somewhat eccentric father. Mrs. Cranky, George's mother, often busy and somewhat oblivious to the chaos around her. Book summary. Grandma. The story opens with a description of George's life with his parents and his grandmother. Grandma is depicted as a tyrannical figure, constantly criticizing and scaring George. Dahl paints a vivid picture of her, emphasizing her nastiness and how she enjoys making George's life miserable. This sets the stage for George's brewing rebellion. The marvelous plan. Fed up with his grandmother's cruel behavior, George decides to concoct a special medicine to replace her regular one. He hopes to create something that will either make her nicer or, at the very least, teach her a lesson. This chapter is filled with George's imaginative musings and his determination to follow through with his plan, despite the potential consequences. George begins to make the medicine. George begins his adventure by collecting ingredients from around the house. Dahl's detailed descriptions of the various household items, from shampoo to engine oil, highlight George's creativity and desperation. The narrative builds excitement as George mixes increasingly bizarre substances, each description filled with sensory details that bring the scene to life. Animal pills. In his quest for ingredients, George ventures into the barn and discovers animal medicines. These potent substances add a new level of danger and unpredictability to his concoction. Dahl's detailed portrayal of George's thought process and the risks he's willing to take underscore his determination and youthful recklessness. The cook-up. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, George cooks up his marvelous medicine. The chapter is rich with descriptions of the bubbling, steaming pot and the strange colors and smells emanating from it. George's anticipation and anxiety are palpable as he prepares to give the medicine to Grandma. Grandma gets the medicine. The moment of truth arrives as George administers the medicine to Grandma. Dahl's vivid descriptions capture the tension and anticipation. The medicine's immediate and dramatic effects on Grandma are both hilarious and alarming, as she grows to an enormous size, breaking through the ceiling. This chapter combines humor with a sense of escalating chaos. The brown hen. After witnessing the medicine's effect on Grandma, George tests it on a brown hen, which promptly grows to an enormous size. Dahl's detailed account of the hen's transformation adds to the sense of wonder and unpredictability. The success of George's experiment encourages him to share his discovery with his father. The pig, the bullocks, the sheep, the pony, and the nanny goat. George and Mr. Cranky test the medicine on various farm animals, all of which grow to gigantic proportions. This chapter is filled with comical descriptions of the oversized animals and Mr. Cranky's excitement. The narrative highlights the potential and danger of the marvelous medicine, as well as the chaos it brings to the farm. A crane for Grandma. The problem of Grandma's enormous size needs to be addressed. A crane is brought in to lift her out of the house, a scene described with Dahl's characteristic humor and attention to detail. Grandma's cranky and ungrateful attitude, despite her predicament, emphasizes her unchanging nature and adds to the book's satirical tone. Mr. Cranky's great idea. Inspired by the success of the medicine, Mr. Cranky decides to mass-produce it and sell it as a wonder growth formula. This chapter explores the entrepreneurial spirit and the potential consequences of exploiting George's invention. Dahl uses this scenario to critique the greed and recklessness that often accompany new discoveries. Marvellous Medicine No. 2. Trying to recreate the medicine, George and his father face the challenge of replicating the exact mixture. Their attempts result in various comical and disastrous effects, such as shrinking animals or making them explode. Dahl's detailed descriptions of the failed experiments highlight the unpredictability of their endeavor and the complexities of scientific discovery. Goodbye Grandma. In a final twist, Grandma drinks a dose of a failed medicine and shrinks until she disappears entirely. Dahl's depiction of this scene is both humorous and unsettling, emphasizing the story's theme of unexpected consequences. The chapter ends with the family contemplating the strange and magical events that have transpired. Themes: rebellion and authority. George's defiance against his oppressive grandmother reflects the universal struggle between youthful independence and authoritarian control. Consequences of actions. The unpredictable results of George's medicine underscore the theme that actions, especially reckless ones, can have unforeseen and far-reaching consequences. Imagination and creativity. George's inventive approach to solving his problem highlights the importance of creativity and thinking outside the box. Greed and exploitation. Mr. Cranky's eagerness to commercialize the medicine serves as a critique of the greed and ethical compromises often associated with capitalizing on new inventions. Analysis. Character development. George grows from a frustrated boy to a creative problem solver. Grandma remains a static symbol of meanness and tyranny. Mr. Cranky represents both supportiveness and the pitfalls of greed. Narrative style. Dahl's blend of humor and dark satire is evident throughout the book. Vivid descriptions and imaginative scenarios keep readers engaged. Imagery and descriptions. Detailed accounts of the concoction process and the transformations provide a rich sensory experience. Moral lessons. The book imparts lessons about respecting others, thinking through actions, and the importance of ethical considerations. Symbolism. The Marvellous Medicine symbolizes both the power and danger of unchecked creativity. Conclusion. George's Marvellous Medicine, by Roald Dahl, is a delightful yet cautionary tale that combines humor, imagination, and moral lessons. Through the adventures of George and his magical concoction, Dahl explores themes of rebellion, the consequences of actions, and the tension between youth and authority. The vivid characters and engaging narrative make the story a memorable experience. Despite its fantastical elements, the book offers real-world insights into creativity, ethical considerations, and the unpredictable nature of experimentation. Ultimately, George's Marvellous Medicine reinforces the idea that even the best intentions can lead to unexpected outcomes, and that creativity must be balanced with responsibility. The end. Love the book summary. Subscribe Teddy Bear's Storytime YouTube channel now. Like the video. Turn on the notifications. And leave your comments. See you in next book.